What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Showtime is Blazer King with King's Critiques, and we're back for Chainsmoker Cat. The last episode that's uploaded for the time being, so figured I may as well check it out. The last episode we introduced two more cats that are addicted to other sorts of things. One being addicted to, well, I thought it was just the acceptable kind of thing, but also the bad kind of things that one can obtain and put into their system. But I'm not going to go into any more specific details because we're within the first minute of the episode, and I definitely shouldn't go into specifics like that yet. And the other one is a gamer girl who tries way too hard, neat streamer, that kind of thing, and, well, she went through some legal name changes, and it went to not where she was intending it to. So, that's your recap. Check out the first two episodes if you want more specific stuff. Of course, go Patreon to check out the full specifics of things, because literal shit gets crazy in this show. That said, hit the like button, subscribe with the whole video and the link at the watch time, because it's highly appreciated, and let's get into it, shall we? Yani's actually like, hey, can I play with you guys? Bet you have the effort to play soccer? What? Okay. Like, y'all might... Yeah, I'm just gonna outright say based. Fucking based reactions of these kids. But hell, that's also how you, like, actually learn what you want to do when you grow up. Just putting it that way. You know, I'm not gonna be more specific or, you know, shove it down people's throats. And she's actually pretty quick on her feet, honestly. You know, for somebody who smokes and drinks a lot, she's very quick on her feet. And yes, matter-of-factly, I did choose to pause at this specific time just to show off. No, okay, well, she had the moves and she was doing pretty good with it. She still is a smoker and will get exhausted after a while. But hey, she looked good doing it. And that is what matters. Well, maybe not to everybody, but to some people at least. That, weirdly, scientifically, that can work sometimes, which is fucked up. But the fact that it has to get to that point is more fucked up. Weirdly, you'd think that's more of an American thing to happen about somebody, you know, playing ball with kids and having the cops called on them. She wasn't chasing the kids, though, like, she was playing ball with them. And it's just, like, supposed to be scientific that they might have gotten a little distracted while she was playing. That's not doing anything illegal intentionally, unlike, you know, other situations where that could be a thing. Like, I get what she was trying to do. She was trying to, like, ash behind him since he was sweeping anyway, so it would have, like, made sense. It's like when someone is vacuuming and you toss, like, a straw paper on the floor because it's going to get picked up anyway. But that was horrible timing, if that's what she was trying to do. Okay, that's rude as hell, just emptying out your pocket and throwing shit on the ground. Careful, Yani. You might be into that. I stand corrected, actually. Not the old feet! Then again, with how cats clean themselves sometimes, I wonder. And I wish I were joking, but honestly, with this show, who the fuck knows? She just threw a fucking broken microwave down at him. The spit was one thing, but that's excessive. Oh no, that's just the best kind of paused image. Don't worry, folks. Nobody got hurt in the making of this anime. I don't even think the microwave was broken. I think it broke after the fact, not gonna lie. The fact his face is still caved in from that, though, is brilliant comedic timing by the artist. His head looks like a smiley now. Don't do this to people. I'm pretty sure putting nicotine patches on people that don't smoke is actually hazardous to their health as well, worse than the secondhand smoke itself. Oh, those are nicotine patches specifically for cats. Oh no. Get those off him now and tell him to go to a doctor. Oh boy, that's pretty quick acting, actually. Okay, so I have at least two questions. The first being, why couldn't she just be honest so she could take those things off his head before it turned purple? The second being, kind of in connection to that, why did she need to drop trow, show cheek, and fart in his face to knock him out? I mean, granted, those were some decent buns, but what the deuce? I mean, at least she didn't do that, but... Well, at least removing the patches did turn him back to normal. Other than the fact I think his pants fell down a little bit, but meanwhile Yaku comes home and discovers him like that. No, but his crash out is completely valid. I mean, granted, she wouldn't be the chain smoker cat if she didn't chain smoke, but bruh, get back to work. Honestly, one, I will say respect him for this whole time having, defeated my original allegation so far. But for two, and I'm not going to turn this around and say I would approve if he did go the allegation way, but I would approve if he just lifted his foot and at least kicked the cigarette out of her hand. I don't promote, human or animal abuse. Well, usually. But I think you need to drive the point home sometimes. Bitch. Seriously? I mean, I guess if her oral fixation is going to something else, it's not as bad. Meanwhile, back on our bullshit. Where the fuck did she even get another cigarette from? Yaku. Did she eat the wheat? No, worse, did she eat the cabbages? My cabbages! Again, still defeating my allegations if this is how he's gonna bust on her face. I had to! I'm sorry. I had to make that joke knowing this was coming. I'm sorry. Okay, so this episode isn't about a new character. This episode is literally about the apartment manager and the kind of bullshit he has to go through with her. Meanwhile, they're talking about renters being careful about ruining the walls with smoke, and yeah, she has definitely done that. Worse specifically for paper walls, which is probably for the best that a general cleaning could probably, help most of the damage to these walls. Then I think most of the bleeding is from the heat, not really smoke. Now, all the bug guts on the wall, that's a different story. Is she about to move that poster to see what color the walls are supposed to be, and it's gonna be a much brighter white or something? Well, not quite white, but yeah, definitely a lot cleaner than it is. Why does that look like she's about to unleash some kind of demonic shit? Okay, I don't know how to feel anything about what I just witnessed, other than the fact of, maybe there was a reason that poster was up to, guard between her room and his room, because, again, he's doing good at defeating allegations. Mostly. I'm going to quit smoking starting today. Puts one out, immediately back to another. Listen, again, I understand the behavior of an addict, and again, that's the whole point of the show, but you could try a little harder. My aunt's a chain smoker. She's quit smoking at least 13 times in my entire life. We know that doesn't really pan out how it's intended, but you could at least try for a day or two. God damn. Yeah, she's trying too hard to be funny, and Yani wasn't trying to make a joke. She literally just out of instinct. Okay, so finding something like that inside of a manga you borrow from your landlord, okay, that paints him as a little more suspicious. I will be fair on that, but why does she still have it around is the better question, I suppose. Okay, before it shows a visual of that, I can peg her kind of tendency and habit and stuff to be one of masochism, because I thought it was originally like, enjoying telling bad jokes and it falling on deaf ears. No, I'm going bigger than that. Actually, you know what? Maybe it's like both. Both of those things. Good thing that one's hot. Otherwise, the shit she's trying to pull would not be as interesting. Okay, I'm not pausing on every single one of those things that just went by, but she just tried a whole string of bad jokes that's like, one of those things where you're trying to think of a word, but you keep saying the wrong thing intentionally. Yeah, she just went through that bit, and I kind of had the same expression as on my face as Yani did the entire time, where she was just kind of like staring off into the void of space the entire time. Don't waste her cigarettes. Yeah, I kind of knew that was going to happen eventually based on the first cutaway bit where she threw the still lit cigarette. I kind of knew that was coming. Which, on that, since we're, not just a ha ha he, here's my thoughts on this kind of channel. Yeah. Another note, kids, on top of don't smoke nicotine in general, if you have anything lit, don't just throw it on the grass. That'll always end badly. There's the alcoholic cat. Did she mix something else into that there whiskey? Okay, no, that's definitely addict behavior, is like having a sippy straw while you're sleeping in your drink. Like, shit. I know some alcoholics, but I don't think either of them are that bad. Yeah, Kansai, you just came back to an awkward as hell moment of them napping. Another between the scene cutaway bit was after they put out the fire, the cops arrived. Yeah, Yani did not miss what she was going for there. The person who usually does the warning system threw their back out exercising. Yeah, we all know what that means. Something that Kansai probably knows of too, seeing that guy that was with her before. Okay, yeah. Smoking in an enclosed vehicle with somebody isn't good. Farting when it's that bad is even worse. Because, like, a hotbox is not supposed to be a bad thing. She really is desperate for a laugh, though. Like, that's her addiction, is seeking to... She's a pick-me! That is her bad habit. She's a pick-me. Okay, I think I narrowed it. She's about to shit herself, isn't she? Okay. Well, at least she didn't shit herself, I think. Oh no, if you have her fart over and over again repeatedly, she's definitely gonna do that. Yeah, there's supposed to be an emergency broadcast system, not a fart mobile. So everyone on the outside is just gonna be like, what the fuck are they doing in there? Yeah, that's the wrong kind of food to be trying to eat while that's going on outside. Like, hearing shit like that happening is one thing in general while trying to eat, but trying to eat food that literally looks like, yeah. Oni-chan, I'm stuck. Help me. Oh no, what are you doing, Oni-chan? Okay, I'm not going to pause on the actual imagery going on here. What I will say is the joke I was making, she took too literal. And now this. And honestly, That is about the crowd you would expect to be there. And don't lie, most of us would be there with them. Because between the hilarity and what it actually looks like, either way, it's just maybe not quite so desperate in it, but it'd still be funny as hell to watch. Alright, I thought I'd cut over here so I can actually start talking more about the show before ending off the thing, because I caught up with it. And the thing with the alcoholic one, about what I was expecting to happen in some way, shape, or form, honestly. And again, I will give overall credibility to the apartment manager for breaking expectations, because while he is an addict in of himself, to some extent, again, credibility will credibility is due for him not being a generic UGB thus far. Never know when that'll change throughout the series, but honestly, I think he'll just be existing for comic relief. I could be wrong. But that said, let's talk about the actual point of the show as a whole now that we're done with the first few episodes that are out thus far. And obviously, first thing, I will probably be continuing unless, aforementioned changes and I kind of feel different about things. Because as we've gone over with a bunch of shows I've covered in the past, my feelings can change based on things that do happen or people say happen. Because, immediate reference just for a small bit case, Takapi, I was going to quit that, and then people said it got better. And it did. So I went back to it and finished it. But on this thing's case, I will talk from the whole point of the show being addiction, whether it be cigarettes, drugs, alcohol, or being a pick-me. Addiction isn't good no matter what. If you're going to be addicted to something, probably for the best that's something that can't cause harm to you, yourself, others, or your wallet. Because if it's something you're addicted to that doesn't cause harm to anybody and you know the extent to keep that, that's one thing. I could give an example, but I just realized a couple of the platforms would not like that, so I won't do that. I guess saying the case of the apartment manager is probably that case that I'm referring to primarily. As long as you control it and don't spend absorbent amount of money on it. Places like ones that begin with 2 letters that you don't need to be going into, or commissioning for things pertaining to that kind of thing specifically. Basically, what I'm trying to say is, if your habit and addiction is something that you can handle for free, it's not so bad, as long as you don't hurt yourself doing it. Now, the thing I just referred to, you probably can eventually hurt yourself doing it, even if you do it for free. But even then, again, it's a matter of control, and addiction is hard to control. So, it's finding something that's free and can be controlled so it doesn't hurt anything is a whole different topic. But I feel like if I keep trying to dance around it, it'll be a pain in the ass. So I'm just gonna leave it on that and say, as someone who knows people that are chain smokers themselves, as bad as nicotine is for you as a whole, moderation is definitely the key. Because, the people I've known throughout my life that religiously smoke, none of them have gotten any form of cancer other than my uncle, but he was also in his 70s by the time he, passed away anyway. So he got to live his life how he wanted because he didn't give a shit, and literally was at the, if I'm gonna die anyway, I may as well just keep doing what I want. And that's respectful, I guess, especially when you reach a certain age. Because, like, when you reach probably 50, 60, 70, whatever kind of age in that realm, where you eventually just, like, give up and say, screw it, I'm gonna die soon anyway, I can respect that. But again, when you're, her case, my case, that kind of age, 20s, 30s, probably better to, like, unless you've completely given up on life, which I understand, control it a little better, but that's personal saying. As far as the alcoholism goes, well, similar thing. It can destroy you sooner rather than later. Sometimes people get lucky. Sometimes people do dumbass shit, as I mentioned multiple times, and do the sip sip and the vroom vroom like a couple of streamers have done as of late. But yeah, and on the other end of things we've experienced in this show so far with Yaku, the green smoking, that's all fine dandy. Anything else she does, don't recommend it. But I am running out of breath, so I will leave that on that and probably go back to recording some more of the new stuff on Monday, because there are at minimum 2 Yuri shows that are actually Yuri, at least one of which has been confirmed so far, which is nice. So this, I wore for this, because honestly, with the way the intro ran, I could see her kind of having some interesting friendships with the people she knows. But that all said, let me know your thoughts on this show, the episode so far, and about any other shows, movies, etc. I should check out this season, next season, or in general. Hit the like button, subscribe to the other channels, ring bells, like Facebook, follow Twitter, Blue Sky, TikTok, Patreon, and Twitch. You can get benefits from subscribing to the Patreon and the Twitch. Patreon is obvious, full, mostly unedited episodes of pretty much everything I upload on the channel, and eventually we'll start uploading some other cool stuff over there as well. Till next time, been the Blazer King with King's Critiques. Out for now. Peace.